Hello everyone, today I want to share with you this amazing conversation that I had with Joey Remenyi. She's a vestibular audiologist and a neuroplasticity specialist, and we spoke for over an hour about how you can rewire the brain to heal from disorders like tinnitus and vertigo. And these are disorders that doctors have basically said were untreatable. But she's developed this research-backed process that's basically the same process for working with anxiety and other disorders. Now, I just want to give you a short snippet, a neuroplasticity nugget, if you will, on how you are the CEO of your brain. And like me, Joey talks about the brain as if it was another person, so this makes me smile real big because I do that too. The full interview is on my podcast. By the way, I have a podcast. It's called Therapy in a Nutshell, and you can check that out. And Joey's got a book detailing her step-by-step process with a bunch of free resources on her website. And again, the link to that is in the description. Okay, so real quick, here's Joey.
We're basically the CEO of our inner world. We're telling our brain what's important, what's not important, which guys and girls are spunky and sexy. And, we're on the lookout all the time. And this is part of our survival mechanisms as human beings. And anxiety is actually what's kept us safe and has protected us from saber tigers and violence. So it has a healthy place. Mm-hmm. So what we need to do when we take control and take power back of our inner world, we need to actually teach the brain that those tinnitus noises or those sadness feelings or those vertigo and dizziness feelings or anxiety feelings, they're all normal and safe. They're false alarms. They're not true life-threatening situations or triggers. And when we're resisting and fighting them, I'll just use the example of tinnitus, but same goes for dizziness. If I wake up every day and oh my God, is it there? Is it there? Is it there? Okay, I've got to take my pill. I've got to use my device. I've got to talk about it. I've got to tell my friends. I've got to go to a doctor. I've got to book another appointment. All of those behaviors and thoughts and words are telling the brain, this is super abnormal. It's a problem, right? Mm-hmm. Your brain doesn't actually speak English. So all the brain gets is, Joey wants to focus on this. She loves her tinnitus. I'm going to help her out and put more neural power there and make it louder so she can hear it better because she's really into this tinnitus. It's like all she's thinking about. So if Joey wants to hear it, I'll help her. More neural allocation over there. Let's make it louder. So my brain helps me to focus on it by making more of it. Right? So when we resist something and put emotional allocation into it, which is often fear and hatred, the brain responds by going super into that, so I'll give it more neural energy. And if we reverse that to it's no big deal, whatever, I'm super neutral about it, I have no emotion attached to it, the brain's like, meh, she's not interested, so I'm not going to put more neural activity there. I'll put more neural activity to where Joey's focusing, which might be connecting to her friends and creating a new band. She wants to make a new band, so I'm going to start putting all my neural emphasis onto finding musicians. So it's like we teach our brain what to emphasize and what to make louder. Because we're looking at making conscious healing neuroplasticity changes, the kind of emotions we're looking for is celebration, self-reassurance, self-acceptance, self-compassion. We want those emotions to be just blissing out. Okay. Because that means we've got more dopamine, more oxytocin, more of that yummy, juicy brain chemistry that gives us more bang for our buck, right? But basically your neurons communicate kind of like fingertips and two arms. They're passing messages. I've got my baby's little toy here. Neurotransmitter chemicals are moving from one neuron to the next. They're captured by receptors. And if there's enough of that message, it will carry on to the next neuron. And you'll have messages moving up and down your body all day long with these little chemicals passing between them. The more neurons pass messages, the better they get at it. And so for my clients who don't feel normal anymore and they feel completely abnormal and sick and dizzy and full of tinnitus, they need to rebuild normal neural networks by teaching the neurons to pass the normal feeling neurochemicals from neuron to neuron with more synchronicity, with more frequency, with more intensity, with more duration, so they can hardwire it. And then that new normal becomes their automated resting state. They no longer need to put effort in, right? And you might say, what does that look like? Well, instead of focusing on getting rid of the dizziness, tinnitus, or anxiety, etc., they, first of all, step one would be identify what you want to feel. What are your desired sensations to feel normal? Not what you don't want to feel, which, is easy, but that'll keep you stuck. So common ones are to feel calm, relaxed, confident, adventurous, enthusiastic, Like people often lose their vigor for life. They're like, I just
their
want to
joy.
have that feeling. Yeah, I want to feel like I wake up in the day and I'm actually excited about what's going to happen. That's, for them, might be feeling normal. So they have to figure out how to get those excitement neurons going. So their therapy practice or their rock steady toolkit would be, what things could I do to help me feel genuinely excited to release those neural messages, right? So then that becomes their home practice. And with time, frequency, repetition, and with all of these emotional regulation tools to make sure they don't kind of go backwards into the old chronic loops, they return to normal. And neuroplasticity is something we are born with. The human brain has billions of neurons, trillions of synaptic connections, so much adaptability, redundancy, and robustness. I think most people, myself included, we don't realize how powerful we are. We don't realize how much we can co-create the inner world we're living in and our perception of the world. And we often just sit back with the status quo and be the person we think we should be and kind of live this numbed out life of good enough, or am I good enough, ? And I think neuroplasticity enables us to really understand, who am I authentically on this planet? What are my values? How can I align to those? How can I be the best version of me on the planet, connect to community, and have great cascade impact on this earth? It's like really going beyond the individual and into the collective. And I think a lot of my clients start feeling victims of their sensations and come out the other side really wanting to give back to the planet. It's quite amazing. It's quite remarkable.
That's really cool. I love that. In the rest of the interview, we talk about how focusing on what you do want, what's most valuable to you, that starts that pathway to healing and that fires up neuroplasticity, and how using a body scan and gentle compassion and openness without judgment toward your unpleasant sensations, like tinnitus or anxiety, how those processes can help your brain rewire and heal. And I'm working on 2 videos right now to go into a lot more detail into that process of letting go of the struggle with anxiety and opening up to those uncomfortable sensations of anxiety. Because I really think if there was only one skill that I could teach you, it would be that one. So stay tuned to this channel, watch for those upcoming videos, and if you'd like to learn more about Joey, please check out the links in the description. I'd also like to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. They offer professional licensed counseling at a very affordable rate, around $65 a week. And you can interact with these counselors on your phone through messaging, through video sessions, and other ways of contacting them. So check out the link in the description. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and take care.